What's going on, Dolphins? It is your boy Dillon, and I've got my second of three. I'm doing three of them today on this Saturday. My second of three scouting report videos. This one is going to be for the Indianapolis Colts, who we play week 4. It's going to be a home game for Miami. Yeah, so real quick before I get into the stats and the breakdowns and stuff, look, the Colts, I think this could prove to be a tougher game for Miami than we would like it to be, especially with Tua being out, the shuffling on the offensive line, et cetera, et cetera. So we'll see how it plays out. But, overall, I think that the Colts are probably going to end up as somewhere of a middle of the pack team when it comes to, the end of the season and where they end up at the end of the year. And when we get to the league standings, you'll see that they are basically right in the middle of the pack in damn near every category. So, and I would venture to guess that's probably where, roughly where they'll stay. They'll just kind of hover somewhere in the middle. That's my guess, but we'll see obviously how the season plays out. So let's get into this. The Colts they are actually 0-2 on the season, but they did have a close game against the Los Angeles Rams, who are 2-0 on the season, so the opposite win-loss total there. But it was a close game, not just in score, not just the 27-24 as you see here, but they actually played a really good game overall against a tough Rams team. And they held their own for most of the game. So, and the last couple drives in the fourth quarter though, Jacob Eason did come into the game, so there's that. But yeah, it was a pretty good game. It was actually really entertaining to watch and everything. It was close for most of it. The Colts did take the lead at one point. But yeah, anyway, so let's go ahead and get into this. So they had 354 total yards and allowed 371. They had 245 through the air and gave up 270. They had 109 on the ground and gave up 101. They were 5.4 yards per play and gave up 6.2 to the Rams. Let's see. The Rams lost a fumble, so the Colts picked up a fumble. The Colts threw 2 interceptions and received 1 interception, or intercepted 1 ball from the Rams. Let's see. The Colts allowed 3 sacks and got 1 themselves. So obviously got to be better there. Indy was able to convert 45% of their third downs, gave up a 33% to the Rams. They held the ball for 31-32, so obviously won the time of possession to the 28-28 for the Rams. 3 penalties for the Colts, 2 for the Rams. So there you have it. I mean, like I said, overall, and I mean, the stats really do, show that as well, that this was a very even game pretty much. It was when you watch it, it was pretty evenly matched throughout. And they went back and forth. Both teams had some good defensive plays. Both teams had some good things going on offense. Let's see, Carson Wentz was 20 for 31, 247, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and Jacob Eason was 2 of 5 for 25 and 1 interception. Let's see, Jonathan Taylor led the way for them in rushing, 15 for 51 and a 3-4. Carson Wentz had 5 himself for 37 and a 7-4, and Marlon Mack had 5 for 16 and a 3-2. Michael Pittman led the way in receiving, 8 for 12, 123. Jack Doyle, 5 of 8 for 64. Zach Pascal, 5 of 6 for 38 and a score. Mo Ali Cox, 1 of 2 for 18. Nyheim Hines, 1 of 2, 17. Ashton Dillon, 1 of 2 for 10. And these other guys added a little as well. Here's their fumbles, interceptions, passes defensed, etc. Their, tackles and all that good stuff. Kicking game, etc. All right. And then we are going to take a quick look at the Rams just to add a little bit more context. Matthew Stafford was 19 for 30, 278, 2 touchdowns and an interception. Darrell Henderson led the way in their rushing game, 13 for 53, 1 touchdown and a 4.1 average. Sony Michel, who was obviously traded to them, had 10 rushes, 46 yards and a 4.6 with a little bit added from these other dudes. Cooper Kupp led the way in the passing game, 9 for 11, a $163 and 2 touchdowns. Robert Woods Woods, 5 of 964. Darrell Henderson, 3 of 5 for 29. And Van Jefferson, 1 of 3 for 14. And then, of course, a little bit of the extras and the rest of the stats and so on and so forth. Be sure to hit the pause button if you want to actually look through any of this. All right, now moving on to the next, right? The league standings. So this is for the Colts, of course, and this is after the Week 3 matchup from this Thursday night. So it is up-to-date statistics. And so for total yards, the Indianapolis Colts on the season through 2 games have 690, which currently has them ranked at 20th. Yards per game, they have 345, which is 19th. Total passing, they have 523, which is 16th. Passing yards per game, 261.5, which is 15th. And like I said, see, I mean, already this is mostly middle of the pack, except with, some exceptions, but they only have played 2 games. Some of these statistics, the Texans, the Panthers are ahead of them because they played an extra game, etc. But this is basically where I would expect them to remain, is somewhere in the middle. Let's see, where was I? Total rushing, 222, which is 17th. Rushing yards per game, 111, which is 15th. Total points, though, they are in the back end here. So, if they don't tighten up with their scoring defense, that could potentially provide an opportunity, right? So total points, they have 40, with their offense, then, and this is honestly part of the reason why they didn't win the game, because they didn't take advantage of their opportunities, and they kind of let the game, go by not putting up points. So they're scoring offense. They only have 40 through the 2 games, which is 24th. And per game, it's 20, which is also 24th. Defensively, I mean, they're the same thing defensively, though, right? They're in the back end of the league through the first 2 games, which could provide some opportunities to opposing offenses. Yards per game, defensively, they're giving up 376, which is 17th. Passing yards, 266, 17th. Rushing yards, 120.5, 18th. Points per game, 27.5, 24th. Takeaways, they have 3, which currently has them at 28th. Interceptions, 1, 18th. Fumbles, 2, which is 5th. Sacks, 4, which is 18th. Passes defense, 6th, which is 22nd. And then, of course, just so that way you guys can take a gander at the Miami Dolphins and where they currently rank. Unfortunately, their offense is, through 2 games, one of the worst in the league. And their defense has some good points, right? But also some bad points. And so they definitely need to pick things up because, particularly on the offense. Because if they don't, then unfortunately I think what we're going to see is the defense start to slip in these categories because they get worn out, and hopefully that doesn't happen. So let's hope that the offense starts this week against the Raiders and picks it up and starts doing better things. But anywho, with that, I'm going to get out of here. I hope you guys appreciate my perspective. If you do, make sure you hit the subscribe button, make sure you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell if you want to get the alerts. Share my channel and videos with your friends and family. Leave your questions, comments, and concerns down in the comment section. Of course, as always, follow me on Twitter at Dillon Tartaro. And with that, I am out. I'll see y'all soon. Phins up.